Welcome to Easy to Love Yoga with Shanna. Thanks to you so much for supporting my channel by subscribing. I really appreciate your support. So today we're going to do a mini restorative practice, and all we're going to need besides our yoga mat are 2 blankets. So we're going to have one blanket rolled in this fashion, and the other blanket we have in a nice square, and we can use it as a comfortable seat. So sitting on your blanket with your legs crossed or extended forward, whatever feels most comfortable for you, bring your hands to your knees and focusing for a moment on your posture, nice tall spine here. Let's close our eyes and pay attention to our breath. Noticing if we're allowing the chest to rise and then the belly to rise on the inhale. And on the exhale, allowing the belly to fall and then the chest to fall. Let's take the next few rounds of breath and notice. Let's do a scan of our body, starting at the crown of our head, working down to our toes. Notice any areas you need to be mindful of as you move through this practice today. And remember, if a pose doesn't feel right, you do not need to do it. Always keep yourself safe. Bring your attention once again to our breath. Breathing deeply. One more round of breath here. Keeping your eyes closed, lower one ear towards the shoulder, gently stretching out the opposite side of the neck. One more breath, returning the head to our starting position, and this time lowering the opposite ear to the opposite shoulder, stretching the other side of the neck. One more breath here, returning to center, lifting the chin as if you were gazing up at the ceiling, stretching the front of the neck. One more breath. Return to center and draw the chin in towards the chest, stretching the back of the neck, relaxing the shoulders. One more breath. Returning the head to center, gently opening the eyes. Let's begin by rolling the shoulders to the back of the room, releasing any tension you might have in the shoulders, and rolling towards the front of the room in the opposite direction. Beautiful. We're going to place our fingertips on either side of our seat. We're going to lift one hand high, really stretch and reach as if you're trying to touch the ceiling with the fingertips, feeling the rib cage lift and open here. One more breath. And taking that hand and bringing that down and taking the opposite hand up. Once again, stretch and reach, feeling the rib cage lift. One more breath. And let's add some movement as we draw that hand overhead, changing from side to side, adding a tiny side bend each time that hand comes up overhead. Just a tiny side bend. And this time, hold that side bend, gazing up at the ceiling. Changing sides, holding that side bend, gazing up at the ceiling. One more breath. And both hands down by our side once again. Now we're going to take one hand to the opposite knee, bring the other hand behind you. You can be on your fingertips or on your palms, whatever feels most comfortable. Sitting nice and tall. Exhale and twist, look over the shoulders, holding here for 8 rounds of breath. Notice your knees, make sure the knees are level with each other and your yoga mat. Trying not to pull up on the knee in this twist. One more breath here. Gently unwind. And now we're changing sides. So opposite hand to knee. You can be once again on your fingertips or on your palms. Sitting nice and tall, and then exhale and twist. Look over the shoulder. 8 rounds of breath. find a breath. And gently unwind, coming forward. And starting with our fingertips once again by our side, a few rounds of cow and cat breath. Inhaling, looking up into cow. Exhale and arch the back for cat. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. One last time. Inhale to cow. And exhale to cat. Beautiful. Now we're going to come up off of our seat. We're going to utilize the blanket that we have in this nice long rolled position. So we're going to start with that blanket just under our shoulder blades. So ladies, that's where your bra comes across the back of the body. So under the shoulder blades, so when you extend the arms, the blanket is not resting on the shoulder blades. So we're just going to roll back. You're going to adjust yourself as required. Extend your arms into a T. I want you to relax the legs. Allow the toes to fall loosely to the sides. And notice that the blanket is rolled and it's under the shoulder blades. So the shoulder blades are resting perfectly on the ground here. I want you to close your eyes. Focus inward. Notice the sensations in your body here. Noticing your breath. The belly rising on the inhale. Falling on the exhale. The first few moments in this pose are always the most difficult as the body's resisting. So just keep breathing deeply. This is a very gentle back bend. It's also a heart opening pose. You can feel the chest lift and open. And as we move through this practice today, if your mind is straying from practice, we can focus on a couple of words to keep our attention drawn to the practice. So as we inhale, inhale peace. And as you exhale, exhale love. Inhaling peace, exhaling love. So restorative yoga is all about engaging the parasympathetic nervous system, the system's responsible for rest, digestion, and healing. We don't often plan time during our day just to settle and relax, notice the sensations in our body, and focus on our breath. So this is a little bit of time that we've carved out specifically for this purpose. Inhaling peace, exhaling love. Going to spend 4 more rounds of breath here. We're going to move slowly into the next position. So we're going to bend the right knee, bring the right foot flat to the mat. Bend the left knee and bring the left foot flat to the mat. Now I want you to use the muscles in the lower part of your body so you can lift up off of the blanket. I want you to hold both sides of the blanket, and I want you to move the blanket down slightly so it lands mid-back, and then slowly bring your glutes back down to the mat. Extend the legs out once again to the length of the mat, and bring your arms once again into a T. Just relaxing here, taking a moment to adjust. Bringing your attention inward once again, focusing on your breath. Inhaling peace, exhaling love. Noticing the sensations in your body. Noticing your breath. Feeling the support of the earth below you. Four more rounds of breath here. Bending your right knee and bringing your right foot to the mat. Bending the left knee and bringing your left foot to the mat. You're going to hold on to both sides of that blanket once again. Gently lift up off that blanket. Lower it down into the low part of your back and very gently lowering the glutes down to the ground once again, extending the legs one at a time. And once again, bringing your arms into a T, allowing yourself to relax into the support of the blanket and your mat. Focusing inward on your breath. Inhaling peace, exhaling love. Four more rounds of breath here. Bend your right knee, bring the right foot flat to the mat. Bend your left knee and bring your left foot flat to your mat. This time we're just going to hold onto our blanket on one side. We're going to gently lift up off the blanket, pull the blanket away, and lower back down to the ground, extending the legs out. Arms once again into a T, and just relaxing here for 6 rounds of breath. One more round of breath here. Bending your right knee, bringing your right foot to the mat, followed by the left knee bending and the left foot to the mat. Now we have our blanket we're using as a seat. We're going to bring that to one side of the body, keeping it handy so we can grab onto it. We're going to bring the feet and the knees together, keeping our arms into a T. We're going to slowly rotate and bring the knees down to the mat. Now if your knees can't quite reach the mat, you can use that blanket and just give yourself a little bit of a boost, kind of bringing the ground to your knees. Or if you prefer a little bit extra weight on top of the legs, you can bring that blanket on top just to help hold you in this position. This is a very gentle twist. So once we have our knees extended to one side, we're going to look over the opposite shoulder in the other direction. Gentle twist of the body. Again, focusing on our breath, breathing deeply. Inhaling peace, exhaling love. 4 more rounds of breath here. Slowly coming out of this by bringing your gaze once again overhead to the ceiling. If you placed a blanket on top of your knees, you can just take that away. And we're going to rotate the legs to center. Just take a moment here, 2 rounds of breath just to adjust. And now we're going to lower the knees to the left. Once again, you have the option of having the blanket on top of the knees or under the knees. Extending the arms into a T. And once the legs are settled, gazing over the opposite shoulder, closing your eyes, focusing your attention inward once again on your breath. Inhaling peace, exhaling love. Four more rounds of breath here. Once again, bringing our gaze to the ceiling, taking that blanket away as we revolve our legs once again to our starting position, and spending 4 rounds of breath here. We're going to move into a seated position. So we're going to take one arm and bring it up over the head. We're going to roll onto that side. Place our head on the arm for just a moment. Mindfully come out of the pose, lying on the mat. And when you're ready, coming up onto your knees, preparing for our next pose. So what we're going to do next is a child's pose. You're going to want to use both of your blankets. So you're going to take one blanket across the width of your mat. This is going to cushion your knees. So you're going to want to fold it over. And then you're going to take the other blanket and just roll it up and place it like so in front of your mat. Bringing the blanket kind of on an angle, making a V behind that blanket. Now what we're going to do is we're going to walk our knees forward. We're going to take our roll and we're going to slowly walk down onto our arms. Now our toes are together behind the body, knees are wide on the blanket, and you're going to slowly come down and lower your forehead onto the blanket. Now this blanket can come further down and have more of your torso resting on the blanket, arms crossed in front, forehead lower, or even just onto your chin, or you can extend your arms forward. So find what works best for you, focusing on drawing the glutes towards the heels. Knees are nice and wide apart, toes together behind the body. And just spending a few moments here, relaxing, feeling the support of the blanket under the knees, giving you a little extra cushion. If you have yoga cushions for your knees, you could also place those under your knees. Relaxing here. Focusing inward on your breath once again. Inhaling peace, exhaling love. Relax the shoulders. 4 more rounds of breath here. Bringing your hands to the mat, slowly rising up and taking the knees off of your blanket. Bringing your hands so your wrists are underneath your shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and we're just going to circle here. Circling the opposite direction, just releasing any tension we might have in the low back or hips. Beautiful, you can just set that blanket aside. We're going to fold this blanket once again. And we're going to get ready for our final resting pose. So we're going to have one blanket that we're going to place under our knees. So you want to have a nice long fold there. And the other blanket you can just have if you like to have a little cushioning under the head. So we're just going to lie back onto the mat. Make sure that we have a blanket under our knees for a little support under the knees. And again, the other blanket you can use under your head for support. We're going to bring our arms at a 45-degree angle to the body, palms facing up. You're going to wiggle your fingers and toes. I want you to release any tension you're holding in your fingers and toes. And just allow the toes to fall to the sides. Final resting pose of Shavasana. Let's take a few moments here and just notice our breath, noticing the belly rise on the inhale. Relaxing your toes, the soles of your feet, and your heels. Relax your ankles, your shins, and your calves. Relax your knees, your hamstrings, your quads and the upper leg. Relax your glutes and your hips. Relax your abdominal muscles. Relax your low back and your belly. Relax your mid-back. Relax your upper back and chest. Relax your shoulders. Relax your biceps and triceps. Relax your elbows, forearms, and wrists. Relax the palms of your hands and your fingers to the fingertips. Relax your entire arm from the fingertips all the way back to the shoulders. Relax your shoulders. Relax your neck. Relax your jaw. Relax your cheeks. Relax your eyes. Relax your forehead. And relax the crown of your head. Fully relaxing to the support of the earth below you, fully letting go. Nothing to do but breathe. Noticing the belly rise on the inhale. Taking this opportunity to do one last scan of the body, starting at the crown of the head, working down to the toes. Noticing without judgment any changes from the scan at the start of class. Bringing our attention once again to our breath. Taking a moment now to look inward, thinking of something that you can be grateful for today. Perhaps it's just a few minutes of mindful movement, silencing the mind. Find something that you can be grateful for today. Bring your focus to that thing. I'd like to thank all of you for sharing your energy with this practice today. This restorative yoga sampler. You can remain in this resting pose for as long as you feel comfortable. So breathing in and breathing out.